can all change the way we think. To do this, there needs to be an intention behind our actions. Often people get upset, sometimes for good reason, but often things that don't really matter or mean very much at all in the larger scope of life.
All right, y'all. We got Andrew Schaffel here, my longtime friend. This is my uncle's childhood best friend. He's pretty much my uncle.
I've known Tommy
I beat him
since he
in
was
golf
born.
when I was 6 years old.
I made him cry when he was 8. There was a putt, and we were tied, and I did not want him to make that putt. I wanted to win. I got in his head. Little man cried, missed the putt, and we tied. When he was 9, he started beating me in golf, and now it's not even close. But I did beat him when he was 8. I'm not proud of it that I made him cry.
Do you have a handicap now?
Yeah, I think I'm handicapped now. Is that what you're asking?
No, like what's your golf handicap?
I don't know, like 82?
That's quite high.
No, I would say I'm a bogey golfer as long as you're giving my gimmies on my putts.
Okay. Are we playing like the middle tees?
Oh, we're playing from the whites. I'm definitely not playing from the tips. I'm not a lady. I'm not playing from the ladies, and I'm not 75, so I'm not playing from the old man tees, Tommy.
Respect.
Right?
Respect.
Right? Well, respect would be if I was playing from the black tees, but do you play from the black tees? Do you play from the tips?
I sure do.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. Next time we go out, you play from the blacks, I'll play from the ladies' tees. Give me a stroke a hole and see if I can make you cry again. How's that sound?
All right, we'll make it happen. Where are we playing? Tecumseh.
We're playing on my home course. I'm a member at Tecumseh. I got the married couple special with my dad, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, both of our wives. Yeah, no, that you heard it correctly. My father and I got the married couple special. We both are married, but we have wives live in separate cities. The guy felt bad for me. I asked, Tommy, sometimes you got to ask and you'll get it. I asked if I can get the married couple special. 2 people, $750 for the season.
You can't beat that.
Well, you can't beat that. I know you had me call Cavalry Club.
Do they have like charges for like dinner or like to be a social club member?
Tommy, there's no club there. There's no social club.
There's no club?
No,
dude?
there's not. There's an abandoned steakhouse right next door. Now, I know when you had me
That's a good consolation.
It's a great consolation. I called Cavalry Club to try to be a member like you. They want the $10,000 and $10,000 initiation fee. So from there, I called Drumlins. They wanted $4,600. From there, I called Pompey. They wanted $2,100. There, I found Tecumseh. Married couple special, 2 people, $750. Sold.
Done deal.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So outside of your professional golf career,
Yes.
what do you got going on professionally?
Professionally, we have a lot going on, Tommy. As you know, I'm the president of Crystal Clear Financial Group, LLC, office all over the country. It's amazing. We're blessed. Also starting a new company, Medicare Aligned. Super excited about it. And as you know what we're here to talk about today, my book, Money and Happiness, the 7 Principles for Living in the Happy Zone. You know, Tommy, I realize that people just aren't as happy as they should be. And a lot of people, right? A lot of people have money.
Why do you think that is?
I think because society puts too much of an emphasis on what do you do and not how you are.
Or how you do it.
Maybe they do and how you do it. I don't think they care as much. I think people just say like, what do you do? Like, right? Instead of who are you?
Or how do you do?
Or how do you do? Right? You're right. How do you do? Well, I do good.
That's like the first thing I ask most people when I talk to them.
Right? It's just meaningless conversation. How do you do? And if they ask how are you, they don't even care. They're not like asking you how you are to actually know how you are. It's more of just hearsay. And I think it's just the society we live in. People feel that if they're not keeping up with the Joneses, if they're not keeping up with society, they feel like they're just not happy. And I don't think that's right.
Did you fall victim to that type of mentality?
No, I've always been very blessed. I've always been very happy, which makes me an expert not just on money, but on happiness.
There's never been a point in your life where you weren't happy.
So being happy doesn't mean you live in a euphoric state of bliss or you're happy 24 hours a day. Tommy, we all experience emotions. Of course, if somebody dies, right, we're going to be unhappy for a period of time, but it's controlling our emotions, and that's what living in the happy zone is. It's not being happy all the time. It's not being robotic, but I've always had a state of mind of happiness.
So you've never gone through like a depression or anything like that?
And I am very understanding that depression's a real thing and that people have to battle with depression. And some people, it's in the book, the brains are wired different. The serotonin levels in the brain is wired different.
Yeah.
Me personally, no, I've never experienced true depression.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
I'm very lucky from that standpoint, but I also know that you can train your brain for people that do battle with depression to help live in that state of happiness in the happy zone.
Yeah. I think there's certain people that will just kind of let it consume them and not take action to try and mitigate it.
Absolutely.
Some people are kind of addicted to their depression and like their vices, and it's like it's a scientifically proven thing.
Absolutely.
But I think those people that are willing to kind of do the hard things like like go to the gym every day.
That's proof that helps with happiness.
And be consistent about it. Like, it makes all the difference in the world. At least it does for me. So
it's true. That is scientifically proven. Getting outside, seeing the sunlight, vitamin D, right? People are happier in the sun.
Just tough here in Syracuse in the winter.
It's tough here in Syracuse in the winter, but that's where you said maybe going to the gym.
Take some vitamin D supplements.
That's possibly. I didn't even know there were vitamin D supplements, but that makes sense.
There's supplements for everything.
Unfortunately, you're probably right. There's supplements for happiness too, probably.
Lexapro.
There you go. There you go.
Prozac.
Yeah, look.
So,
we're not against medication.
You've never even come close to having to take depression or anxiety meds or anything like that.
No, but I understand that some people do, and
that's
it's okay.
Honestly, impressive considering your field of work, because like it's very high stress, like high strung, like.
Yeah, listen.
It's commissions, right?
Well, at the beginning of someone's career, we hire a lot of advisors. It's productivity based, so it can be commissions at the beginning. When you're 23 years in and you have a great clientele base, we're very fortunate where we have revenue coming in different streams. But at the beginning of the career, even when I was on commission and the money wasn't there, the happiness still was there, Tommy. I've never experienced more happiness because I have more money. My happiness has always been the same. Whether I was flat broke, in debt, or have a lot of money in the bank, the happiness doesn't seem to change. And that's a state of mind. It's a zone. It's a zone to live in.
Let's hear a passage from your book.
You open it up, Tommy, pick a random page, and I'll read a little bit of a passage.
Random page.
And this is random, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't record this. We didn't re-script this. So we're going to read a random page, just a couple sentences. We can all change the way we think. To do this, there needs to be an intention behind our actions. Often people get upset, sometimes for good reason, but often things that don't really matter or mean very much at all in the larger scope of life. When I find myself getting depressed, I simply take accountability and reflect on what it is that makes me upset. I ask myself, is this something I can control? If not, I tell myself I must be able to accept it. I suggest intentional training your brain to positive to get back in the state of happiness. We need to accept ourselves with all of our flaws. Mm-hmm. Tommy, I have a lot of flaws. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
That wasn't rehearsed. That was a random page in my book. So if you got value from that, imagine how much more value you're going to get from reading the book. And Tommy, it's also on Audible on Amazon. A lot of people just don't want to take the time to read. Some people don't even know how to read.
He's a salesman, folks. And he's damn good at it.
We're selling happiness, Tommy. We're selling happiness.
I respect it.
Thank you.
Are you going to make a hardback cover of this?
Tommy, probably not. I think we're going to probably try to get the book out on different platforms. It's never been a goal of mine to get it out on hardback. I'm kind of a soft guy. Not a hard man, ladies and gentlemen. Very soft man.
Andrew Schaffel, softy at heart.
Except when I'm with my wife. Oh, Tommy, I didn't mean it like that.
Come on.
Fist bump. My wife probably won't even watch the podcast, so it doesn't even matter, Tommy.
Nancy, I hope you watch this podcast.
Nancy, I guarantee you're not watching the podcast. If you are, you know I love you, but she's not going to watch it, Tommy. She's got no interest.
Tell her the cute puppies are on it. She'll watch it.
You know, that's actually an idea. If she knew there were dogs on the podcast, she probably would watch it. Well, yeah, I got licked on my ear. For a second, I thought it was my...
Oak here is pretty much a regular on this show.
Oh, Oak's the best. They're all the best. Little Zorro. Love these pups.
Yeah, I haven't ever gone through a time in my life where I didn't have dogs.
You know, dogs help with happiness. I cuddle with my 2 Shih Tzus, Tommy, and it brings me so much joy. I think there's a lot to be said about dogs. The man's best friend, woman's best friend, the serotonin that they bring us. It's a great point. If people don't have a dog, they take a lot of time and energy. You can get a cat. Cats take really little energy at all, and they can still bring happiness when they want to. They're not like a dog. They're not going to be happy all the time with us. Mm-hmm. But there's something to be said about an animal's love. It's unconditional. Mm-hmm. Especially a dog.
You can't beat it.
You can't. You really can't.
What else is going on?
What else is going on, Tom? We're starting a company, Medicare Aligned. I'm super excited about that. It's a passion of mine to help people in the Medicare world. So we're super excited to launch that. It's going to be a global success. So we're always starting new projects, right? We own Crystal Clear Financial Group, office all over the country. Super blessed, super blessed. Probably going to write another book, Tommy, How to Get Into the Green Zone. A lot of people live their life in what I call the red zone. How to get into the green zone. Tommy, what I find is a lot of people live their life in the red zone. Even successful people, they're not living the greatest life that they can live. And I want to help people, coach people, train people in a measurable process how to get from the red zone to the green zone. You know why, Tommy? It's very easy with intentionality to get to where they need to be. And it's very easy without intentionality to fall out of where they need to be. Think of it like working out. You work out all the time. You look like a I would say Greek Adonis, but I want to say like maybe like a quarter Korean Adonis.
You flatter me.
I do flatter, Tommy. I used to call you a quarter Korean because of your half Korean background or a quarter Korean background. But you do. You look like a quarter Korean Adonis. And
you got a friend here.
Oh, I love these dogs, Tommy. I love all dogs. I don't think I've ever met a dog I didn't love.
But yes, to your point, if you don't have a certain direction you want to go when it comes to working out, life, business, you're not going to get to where you want to be, or you will get there maybe a lot slower.
It's consistency. It's dedication, Tommy. How often do you go to the gym?
I don't go to the gym, but I work out here every day.
Oh, you have a gym here, Tommy.
I work out every single day.
Even if it's just a couple of weights. And that's the thing. It's daily commitment. And with daily commitment and daily intentionality.
No one wants to do that, though.
It's
no one
doing
wants
the hard
to wait.
things. It's doing the hard. We call it hard easy. Do the hard things first. Work out in the morning. Stretch in the morning. Meditate in the morning, Tommy. It's doing the hard easy that gets people through an easier day.
You meditate in the morning?
Tommy, I've taken a meditation course with my Hindu cousin about 4 different times to try to build a meditation practice.
You have a Hindu cousin?
I have a Hindu cousin, and he's married to a Jewish cousin.
How did I never hear about this?
Tommy, he's amazing. His name is Kunj. He has a meditation practice. Here's a plug to Kunj Shah.
He's your blood relative.
Well, my blood relative is my Jewish cousin who married a Hindu, and they have the cutest little kids together. We call them Hindus, Tommy. Hindus. And I take meditation courses with Kunj 4 different times to build a meditation practice. I can't say I meditate every day. It's a goal of mine. I'll get there. Yeah. I fall in and out of it. So with intentionality, I'll get back into the meditation zone.
It is kind of tricky to stay consistent with stuff that makes a huge difference, but you almost like don't notice it when you slip out of the habit.
And that's where intentionality makes a big difference. That's why the book that we're going to be writing, Getting into the Green Zone, matters. Because think of like a fitness coach. If you work with a fitness coach every day, they can get you to your ideal weight. It's very measurable. People know if they're 200 pounds, if they're 150 pounds. But it's very easy to go from 150 to 200. And that's when I coach people and I work with people to get them to live their life in the green zone. And it's not just about money, Tommy. It's about happiness. For those of you just listening, I'm smiling while holding the book.
We're not on any listening platforms yet, actually.
Well, Tommy, we're going to have to get you on listening platforms. We got to get you on Spotify, on Spotify, Zubafly, and Dibafly.
Brother, we're on episode 7, 8. I keep screwing this number up.
Well, hopefully it's lucky number 7.
I said episode 6 when it was episode 5, so now I'm all screwed up. But
all right, well, hey, we're on an episode.
I'm trying to get a video or a pod at least once a week, which I've been doing, but ideally 2 to 3. Trying to find guests is tough. Not everyone's comfortable on camera.
And I understand that as well. Tommy, I love what you're doing. I love your marketing. I love your videos. I'm excited for you to shoot a bunch of videos for my new firm, Medicare Aligned. Super excited to use your talents and put you on the payroll.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've noticed all your Facebook videos. Even though you only get 1 or 2 likes, I'm probably one of the 2 likes. I think they're amazing. And
are you complimenting me or roasting me?
It's kind of a combination of both. It's more like a slight jab. So it's like we build you up saying you're really good at what you do, but no one's actually seeing how good you are, except for maybe me, and the other like might even be your mom.
That's how it all starts, my friend.
You got to start small to live big.
How long in your financial career did it take you to start really getting some wind in your sails?
Wow, I would have to say probably year 2. The first year I was terrible, Tommy. I didn't listen to my coaches. I didn't listen to my managers. I lied to them. I lied to myself. I remember in 2002, I would tell them I was going to weed sport in Auburn. It was kind of like an inside joke, like I was burning weed instead of actually paying attention and working. They told me to go out and call 2 people every day or set 2 appointments every day. I'd set 1 and think I was doing the right things. So I think the turnaround was year 2.
That's pretty you were setting one every single day.
Yeah, but you need to set 2, and it's a mindset belief. I didn't believe I can set 2 every day, Tommy.
Who are these appointments with?
Anybody and everybody. The first day I came to call time and I had nobody to call, this was 23 years ago. I was a young man out of college. I had nobody to call. The next day, they told me to come back with people to call or don't come back at all. Tommy, we called everybody. We called people from the phone book. We had school directories. I knew I was good when I called an economics professor from the white pages of a phone book at Syracuse University, and I got the appointment.
That's pretty sick.
It's pretty sick.
So this is like me setting a listing appointment? I'm supposed to get 2 of those every single day? That's just not realistic.
So, Tommy, that's what I thought, too. It's a mindset belief. If you believe it's not realistic, it's not realistic. And that's a different industry. If your industry is only setting 1 every day.
What's the range of people you can call? I can only call people around Syracuse.
Well, I think we live in a global society now, Tommy. I think you can call people anywhere. You can do business through Zoom. You can do virtual listings, virtual housing. So I think we have to open the minds to realize that it's not just around Syracuse anymore. You can literally show people a virtual house.
Unless
and do it
I
anywhere.
have agents to refer business out to, like, why I'm supposed to be specializing in Syracuse. Why would I go outside my area when I'm just starting?
Well, you want to have a local presence, but we also have to be realistic and know you only have a certain amount of people that are looking to buy a house
That's
in
my
Syracuse.
point. I'm saying, like, I don't get how I would set 2 listing appointments per day.
Well, in your industry, what is the goal? In financial services, the goal is 2. Is the goal 1 every day? Is the goal 1 a week? What is the goal in the industry of real estate as far as being successful? What do successful people do every day in your industry?
They generate leads.
They generate leads. So my advice to anybody in that industry would be to make sure that you believe you can do it, because mindset is everything. If you have these negative beliefs saying, well, how am I going to set 2 appointments every day if I only live in Syracuse? It doesn't matter where you live. The number 1 advisor in New York Life last year was a good friend of mine. He's in my DBA. I'm in his DBA. He broke the record for New York Life commissions. He did over $6.5 million in commissions. Do you want to know where they live, Tommy?
Hawaii.
Yeah. He lived in a small town called Wenatchee in Seattle. Very, very small population. So
That sounds made up.
It's true, and you can Google it, right? Wenatchee, Washington. He lived on an Indian reservation in a tiny little city, if you even want to call it a city, a tiny little town. So you have to have these winning beliefs of yourself that you can do it.
How many calls are you firing off a day when you were just starting trying to set 2 appointments?
As many as it took, Tommy. There were days
You
where
would
it was
send
7:30.
500 calls.
I didn't keep track, and I don't think it was 500, but if it was 100, that's how many people we had to call. Today, we don't call. Today, we use LinkedIn. We use email. We use texting. We call some people. We have a lot of lead generation. We live on referrals.
Cold calling is still very much a thing. As far
Cold
as like
calling's a thing. Yes.
Yeah.
You need to have the outreach, Tommy, to be successful when you're first starting off in your career. Now, if it takes you 50 phone calls, 100 phone calls to set your goal, you have to do it. When I was your age and actually younger, I would not leave the office with a donut. A donut, ladies and gentlemen, is a 0. I would not leave the office if I didn't have 1 appointment scheduled.
So what if you didn't get one?
I did not leave the office till I
slept there.
did. I always got one, Tommy.
Okay.
I would always get one. I don't care who I was going to call. I was believing in myself. I was good enough on the phone. I had the right work ethic. I had the desire. We always got one. Sometimes, Tommy, it was almost 9 o'clock at night. My friends would be at the bar, and I'd still meet them there, but not until 9 o'clock at night when legally we couldn't call anymore. And if the last appointment was set at 8:59, we got it done.
Excellent.
Thank you.
No, any sales role is not for the faint of heart. You got to be able to get your ass kicked pretty much.
It's not for everybody. I was in corporate management, Tom, when we had to hire people. I hired 54 advisors. I think 4 of them had a career. 50 of them left in the industry. But we helped them achieve positions in companies that were better suited for them.
Willie, give it a rest.
Oh, Willie's licking my ear. I don't mind little Willie licking my ear. It's annoying, but I don't mind it. No, Tommy, sales role is not for everybody. And when you're selling yourself. You're selling things people need. You're not selling things
You're
people don't
selling your
need.
experience with them.
You're selling your value.
Yeah.
You're selling your value. Rather, if you're new in the industry, your value is the relationship. Your value is the communication. Your value is the level of service you can provide. If you have experience, your value is the experience and the knowledge you have. You're always selling what's right for people, and you're using your core competencies, whether if it's your attention to detail, whether if it's your attention to service, whether if it's your experience, your knowledge, or if you're very new in any business at all, you have the time to dedicate to your clients and treat them the way they need to be treated.
Did you experience any kind of imposter syndrome when you were coming up?
Oh, you have to fake it till you make it. Absolutely. I think that in a good way, right?
How long did it take before that wore off?
Tommy, I don't think it ever wears off, Tommy. You always
Really?
want to... yeah.
Even with 30 years of experience behind you?
Well, I have 23, but Tom, yeah, I would say so. I'm a accredited estate planner, right? I'm a charter advisor in philanthropy. I'm the immediate past president of the Estate Planning Council, and on paper, I looked really good. And I had to keep making myself look good, and it's not faking it. You're doing the things to be successful, but at the end of the day, you always want to keep improving. You always want it to be where you are to get to a higher level, and when you're at that higher level, you want to keep getting to a higher level. So I don't think the fake it till you make it ever stops, because I don't believe anyone's ever making it. Now, to me, success is to be happy. So, but we're talking in the business world, right? In life, you make it when you're happy. You make it when you live a satisfying life, whether if it's doing the things you love to do, making time to do the things you like to do. But when we're talking the business world, for highly motivated, highly successful people, I don't think they ever stop. I think they're always continuing to improve and improve because they're here where they are.
Yeah, there's no final destination.
There's no final destination. So I think the faking it till you make it never stops.
That makes a lot of sense.
But at the beginning, you're just faking it more because you got no experience, no money. But it never stops. And I'll give you examples, right? There's always a truth, and there's always the perception. So let's give a real life example. Tom, we know I make a tremendous amount of money. I'm very blessed, right? I technically own 0 homes. I'm very blessed, but I technically own 0 homes. My dad and I have wives that live in separate cities. So my dad and I have a home that's paid for because he paid for it, right? I take him to dinner all the time. I buy the groceries, but I don't pay rent there. I have a wife that lives in a house in Albany. I pay for everything for that house. Mm-hmm. I pay everything. She doesn't work. She's very blessed as well. But she owns the house. My father owns his house. So technically, I'm homeless. But the perception is I have 2 houses. Oh, I'm rich. I'm rich in life and we have plenty of money, but I don't technically own a house.
Rich in life, rich in finance.
Rich in happiness. But the perception, right, Tommy, think about it. The perception is, without lying, I have 2 homes. I have 0 houses, but I have 2 homes. Does that make sense? So am I faking it till I make it?
Yeah.
It's perception is reality. So how would it sound if I told people, hey, a little bit about myself. I live with my father. My wife lives in a city far away, and I don't own a house. They think I'm a loser. But the perception is I help take care of my father.
Well, at face value, yeah. I mean,
right.
Just the way you kind of delivered that.
That's right, but I would never deliver it like that.
But we know that's not how you perceive it.
We know that's not the real life. The real life is I live with my dad. We have an amazing time. We have a couples golf league that we're in. We got the married couple special for our golf that we talked about. I have an amazing wife that I see every couple of weeks. We have quality time together, and we're very happy. But happiness comes from within, and perception is reality. So we're always faking it till we make it. We always want to deliver the truth, but the truth can be delivered in a lot of ways.
Do you feel like, or did you think when you were going through your young adulthood, this is where your life would end up? Or do you think you were going to end up in a different spot?
No. Well, in a young adulthood, you kind of had this naiveness about you. I figured I would go into business and start washing floors and work my way up. I didn't think I was going to be in financial services. I kind of fell into that, Tommy. Really, right out of college, first job I ever had, first interview I ever had was in financial services. Never looked back. But yes, growing up, you know, Tommy, we're both the son of doctors, right? And we knew we were going to go to college. And that's not true for everybody. We knew that our parents were going to pay for college. We knew we had that in us. We knew we were going to be successful. But we didn't know in what.
If I had it all over again, I would have waited to go to college.
Oh, I told my stepson and my stepdaughter, college is a waste of money, a waste of time. I knew my experience that I had. I learned how to have time management. I didn't really learn much in my college. Now, I donate to my college still. I had a good experience. I even have a scholarship for my college under my name that I donate to.
I learned how to party hard and get by.
That's exactly right. You learned how to have time management, right? We learned how to party hard and get by. Yeah. We went to class. We passed our classes. So my stepchildren, they got their 2-year degree, and they did not do a 4-year degree. And we just, personally, I'm not a huge fan of college unless somebody knows they're going to be like a doctor, like our parents, maybe an attorney, maybe a school teacher. But if somebody doesn't know what they want to be.
Doctor, lawyer, teacher. That's.
Yeah, rocket science, maybe, right?
I mean, like trades, you got to go to school unless you grew up doing it. But like.
Yeah, but not necessarily college, but you go to trade school.
Let's not even put it into a box of what you go to college for. You got to know exactly what you're there to do.
Otherwise, you're wasting your money. You're going to take out student loans. You're going to be paying back loans your whole life, or you're wasting your parents' money. Yeah, as far as college, they're indoctrined to teach you what they need to teach you. What they don't teach you in college, Tommy, you know what they don't teach you?
Finance.
They don't teach you
Well,
finance.
They teach you, I'm thinking high school. They don't teach you finance in high school.
They don't teach you finance in college. They teach you
Basic
economics.
finance in high school.
They teach you economics in college, which is very, very worthless. They're not teaching you how to balance a checkbook. They're not teaching you about crediting. They're not teaching you about interest. You know what they're really not teaching you about, Tommy? They're not teaching you
Do you know
about
for a fact?
happiness.
Do you know for a fact all professors don't teach that in college?
Every
single one of them.
There are probably some colleges that maybe give a little bit of information.
I was gonna say, like, there's probably some that do.
There's probably some that do, but in general, that's not what they're paid to teach you. It's not part of the structured and doctorate script that they're teaching you. And I've never seen a course on happiness in college. Tommy, have you? Have you ever heard of it? Have you ever heard of a course on
sure
happiness?
there are some.
There's probably some liberal arts school in New Hampshire out there somewhere that teaches happiness. And if they do, they should order my book for everybody, Money and Happiness, 7 Principles for Living in the Happy Zone. But the reality of it is they're not focusing on happiness at college time. I mean, that's why a lot of college students are not happy.
I think
They're not happy.
I think we're too narrow here. They're not teaching happiness in our society.
They're not teaching happiness in our society. They're not teaching happiness in our schools. They're not teaching happiness in our jobs. We're not learning happiness at home.
You know what I never understood? When I was coming up, you had recess from as soon as you were put in school until 5th grade. 5th grade is your last year of recess at Wellwood, at least, here in FM. And then after that, you don't go outside the entire day.
Yeah, people need to go
Why
outside.
the hell do they do that?
Well, you know, they should let kids
To
go
teach
outside
more, like, you need to let a kid decompress and, like, breathe air from the trees, like, and not just breathe the same air. Everyone's been breathing in the same building all day long.
Yeah, you know, schooling didn't used to be like this. Schooling used to be you go out, you work on the farm. Right now, we're learning things that don't even matter anymore. In fact, I mean, remember when you were in school, you probably weren't even allowed to use a calculator. That was cheating. Now today,
I was.
you are. So Tommy, we're in different generations. Tommy, you're what, 15, 16 now?
26?
26. The time goes by fast. Remember when you were born. But at 46, right, 20 years later, we weren't allowed to use calculators. It was cheating. So the math we learned in school didn't really matter, right? We learned cursive. Kids don't even know how to tell time now, Tommy.
Your calculators are the current kids' ChatGPT.
That's exactly right, and we love ChatGPT. ChatGPT is phenomenal.
In terms of like the teachers not wanting to use it.
Teachers should allow the kids to use ChatGPT.
They should.
ChatGPT, we have access to this amazing tool. Just like when we were in school, we had access to an amazing calculator. Why the heck did I have to learn 16 times 4 divided by 3 divided by 2? We have the tools. We need to use the tools to be successful. That's why I don't love the teaching systems of schools.
I'll be honest, I don't remember how to do math, like multiplication by
And you
hand.
don't need to. You don't need to.
I feel like I should know how to do that, though.
For what? What do we need to know about the Romulus and the algorithms and the
Romulus?
the Pythagorean theorem, whatever this
Pythagorean?
the Pythagorean theorem? Like, what is this nonsense that
All
we're
this
teaching these kids in
bullshit.
school? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We should be teaching kids how to be happy, how to treat one another with respect,
How to survive in the wilderness.
how to survive in life.
Yeah.
Kids are too soft these days. Men are too soft
Basic
these
life
days.
skills. Can we just say that?
Yeah, one of the best classes I took was home economics. I learned how to sew a button.
Emotional intelligence.
Yeah, we don't have that.
No.
You know, they probably don't even have home economics in schools anymore. I don't know if they do, but a lot
I
of
think
budgets
they
are being
do.
cut. Most schools, I bet the budgets are being cut for that.
Really?
You know, they are. And that was one of the best classes I've ever took. Till this day, I know how to sew a button. Why? Because someone taught me in 5th grade how to sew a button. Right? I know how to make a taco because I learned how to make a taco in 5th grade.
Yeah, I learned how to make scrambled eggs in 6th grade. That changed the game.
Can I tell you a horrible thing we did in home economics class, Tommy?
Yeah, you can.
You know, we're not proud of this. It was chocolate mousse day, and everyone made chocolate mousse, and they put it in the refrigerator. So my friend and I, we snuck into the class and we just ate every single chocolate mousse out of the refrigerator. And not proud of it to this day, Tommy. But
Did they find out who did it?
No, they never found out. We got away with it. Speaking of things that we did that we're not proud of, when I was in middle school, we were hacky sacking. It's what we did back in the early 90s. The lacrosse coach.
Were you good?
No, it's terrible. Just like I was at most things athletically. So the lacrosse coach took away our hacky sack, and he wouldn't give it back to me.
I remember you telling me this story years ago.
You love that story, right?
No, continue, though, because I don't remember it fully.
So that we were hacky sacking during Regences. They took away the hacky sack. They wouldn't give it back. It was the lacrosse coach, and he had all these trophies in his room. So same person I stole the moose with, we went into his office, his room. We took all of his trophies. We put them in the urinals, Tommy, and we peed all over it. And I never got my hacky sack
Bad
back.
kid.
Not a great, I don't know if it was a bad kid. I certainly wasn't a great kid.
He was a mischievous kid.
We were a little mischievous.
Yeah.
We were a little mischievous. Not too bad, though.
As most kids are.
One of the worst things we did, though, Tommy, is we knew that there was some gum, like 30 packs of gum in a locker. And the same kid that we have been doing all this stuff with, we lied.
Stockpiling gum.
Someone was stockpiling gum. It was a friend of ours. Yeah, it was a friend of ours. And I got mad because I asked him for a pack of gum, and they gave me one piece. Now, one piece was still nice enough. But in my mind, one piece was a jerky when he had 30 packs. It was a friend. So we lied to the janitors, told them that our locker, we forgot the locker combination, and the janitors opened up the locker for us. We stole all the gum.
See, this is
and we
the kind
blamed it
of
on somebody else.
This is the kind of problem solving that kids don't really have to do. Like, how am I going to get into the locker? Oh, I'm going to lie to the janitor.
Yeah, we're not proud of it.
Even though it's devious.
It was devious, but they did look. If the worst thing I ever did is steal gum,
you know?
Yeah, but resourceful for bad things. But, if the worst thing I ever did is steal some gum and chocolate mousse.
It's the same principle, though.
Yeah, it is a principle. And speaking of principles, Tommy, I have 7 principles to live in the happy zone.
You're
that
good.
Teach people how to live a happy life.
You're very good.
It's a teachable thing, Tommy. Most people don't realize happiness can be taught. It can be taught.
I agree. I completely agree. It's what I spend probably a good, quarter of my day.
Tommy, did you read the book?
I swear to God, I did.
You did?
I did.
Well, I believe you. You don't have to swear to God. I believe you. All you have to say is Andy, yes. Now I don't believe you because you swear to God. People say they swear to God. Actually, I think are liars. Tommy, did you read the book?
On the dead homies, I did.
On the dead homies. I hope you don't have any dead homies. Do you have any dead homies?
I do.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, I'm getting older. That's what happens.
Yeah, you're 26. I thought you were still 16.
No, I did read it.
I appreciate that,
I genuinely loved it.
Thank you.
Especially knowing that you wrote it.
What'd you think of the chapter with
I was
that?
super impressed that you took the initiative to go and do that.
It took a year to write, about
you had
6
to hit
months
up
to edit.
a publishing company and do all that
I
stuff.
had a great editor. She's an author. Her name is Heather Fazio. So plug to Heather Fazio, phenomenal author. And I called her up and asked her if she knew an editor. She said, Andy, I'm actually an editor as well. Oh. Very talented woman. Helped me create this book. Yeah, we took about 6 months. And this book actually helped her. She was going through some trials and tribulations in her own personal life. And she took extra time and care and love to edit my book. And my book actually helped her to get into the happy zone during the struggles she was having.
What about the font and the graphic and all that? Does she do that?
She led me to the right direction to somebody that came up with the fonts and the graphic
designer.
So she was somebody that was instrumental in helping me get my book to life. I had all the ideas. I wrote the words in my own words, but I'm not an author, Tommy. I'm not an author, as you know. She's an author. So she was able to take my words and make them a little bit better.
No humps.
Oh, you can hump me anytime you want, Willie.
You're just humping the couch.
Well, couches need loving too, Tommy.
Don't do that, Zoro.
Tommy, do you remember the chapter with John Jamalski? He's 90 years old and sitting in jail today.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that, right?
That is such a good topic.
So this piece of shit, if I can call him that, is still in jail today. His name is John Jamalski. You guys can Google him. He's 90 years old. We're wasting our tax-paying dollars keeping this sack of shit alive.
He's alive?
He's still alive at 90 years old, Tommy.
Where is he? The Janesville thing?
No, he's in Mohawk. But I had to forgive him, Tommy. I had to forgive him for what he did to me. Not because I condoned what he did, but because I had to forgive to live my life the way I want to live it.
Yeah.
So there's a principle of forgiveness that's in my book, and that's why I brought this guy up. But Tommy, would you like me to share the story?
I would love that.
I was 15 years old. I snuck out of my house. We made dummies of just like the movie Escape from Alcatraz. We made these dummies of ourselves. Yeah, no, it's insane. We made these dummies. We snuck out of our house. Tommy, as you know, we were brought up in a pretty well-to-do neighborhood, so we were not worried about like bad things happening. So we were sneaking out to go to a party. We get to the field because that's what we did.
What year is this?
1995. We were 15 years old.
The year Mari was born.
The year Mari was born. I remember when she was born. And now Mari's a mother, which is insane. Yeah. So we get to this field. Mari's his sister, awesome family. So we get to this field. There was a remnants of a party. There were some beer cans, a fire that was dying out. And this guy comes out of the woods with a 2x4. And he says, October's my month, boys. I said, that's nice. I like May. It's my birthday. And I went to shake his hand. This guy had this big lumberjack beard. He comes in, he swings the 2x4. And I just start running. I start running down this hill. And my friend Matt, who I call him Pat in the book, was standing there frozen like a deer in headlights. And I start screaming, Pat, run! Really, it's Matt,
He was
run.
like a big athlete, right?
He was a big athlete. He was about 6'5", pretty athletic guy, star of the track team, great volleyball player on the basketball team. And I'm screaming, run, run, run! And he's not running. And this guy in slow motion walks up to Pat, which his really name was Matt. He takes a 2x4 and he just fucking whacks him. Whack!
On his skull or on his back?
On his back.
Okay, that's
on
better
his
than his head.
Yeah, it's better than his head, but I mean, this was a grown man whacking a kid with a 2x4.
It's not good either way. I'm just saying, like, he could have caused brain damage.
He could have caused brain damage. Could have broke his back. So anyway, Pat snaps out of it. He starts running down the hill. I'm frozen. I start running down the hill. Matt passes me. I look back, and this guy with a 2x4 is like the horror movie Jason, where the killer's like walking slow but running, and you're running as fast as you can, and this guy's right behind you.
It's like a dream where like you're trying to get away, or you can't punch something.
It's a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
You tell me, I was so scared. Let me put things in preference. 2 weeks prior to that, we were running from the cops in Mill Run Park, which is in a small town, because we were underage drinking. It was so exhilarating. It was so fun, because if the cops caught us, what were they going to do? Tell our parents, right? Yeah. Big deal. Tommy, this guy was chasing me. I looked back. He was still chasing me. This is after he already whacked my friend with a 2x4. Yeah. Tommy, I was so scared. You know what I did?
Shit your pants.
You remember. You read the book. I shit my pants. There was a road. We crossed the road. We made it out. And it was the scariest night of my life. Well, it turns out, so we didn't call our parents. We didn't tell our parents because if they did arrest him, I didn't want this guy to know who I was because I was afraid he had retaliation because he was crazy. And it turns out a few years later, he was caught building a makeshift dungeon in his basement where he kept girls ranging from 13 to 33 that were runaways and kidnaps and street women, and he would rape them on a daily basis. Yep. He would mentally abuse them, physically abuse them, and torture them in his makeshift dungeon cell.
Just twisted shit.
It's so crazy. So if this guy would have caught me, I don't think he would have raped and tortured me. I think he would have instantly killed me.
Yeah.
And then probably put me in the dungeon just to rot and put the fear of God more into these young women who not only are going to get raped and tortured, but now they see a decompressing body. Yeah. And that's the reality that could have happened. Yeah. But Tommy, I had to forgive that guy. I had a lot of anger. When I got to college and I became a young adult, I thought I should go find this guy and kill him, or at least beat him up. Yeah. But I thought that's not a happy way to live life. You can't live life with that type of hate in your heart. So I had to forgive him. But by forgiving him, Tommy, it wasn't because I condoned it. I forgave him so I can move on with my life.
Yeah, you did it for you.
Did it for me. That's what forgiveness is. The principle of the happy zone.
After it all happened, though, did you need like a little bit of... Were you even able to process what just happened, or were you so like shell shocked from the whole thing, like it like hit you afterwards, like maybe even a year or two?
Oh no, we processed it. We were so scared that night, Tommy. My friend's back was all black and blue and bloody. I had shit in my pants. We had to take turns showering off the blood and the shit, and I was so scared. But what we did is we blocked it out of our minds for a little while.
That's what I'm saying.
We just never talked about it. Him and I, to this day, we never spoke about it. We lost contact sometime after college, but for the years we hung out together, we never mentioned it.
Yeah, I've been a part of some freaky events in my life, but nothing that level.
No, nobody should have to go through that. It's traumatic. But I always lived a life that was true to myself, always maintained that sense of joy, that sense of happiness.
Yeah, you have to.
You were an athlete growing up, and some stories about me before you were born with your Uncle Casey, who was also an athlete. Do you remember the story when I tried out for the 7th grade soccer team? Mm-hmm. So Case and I, his uncle, good best friend of mine, he's always athletic. I was not, but I didn't realize my flaws. And I think being happy, you have to understand and not just have some odd sense of who you are. You have to know who you are, and who you are doesn't always have to be the good and the ugly. It can be the bad, the good, and the ugly. So I thought I was really good at soccer. I didn't practice. I didn't try hard. I didn't train. I wasn't dedicated. I had this naive sense of being good when I wasn't. And I tried out for the soccer team, and I was cut. And the way I was cut, there were 50 kids trying out. They cut 4 kids before they cut anybody else. They cut me, the fat kid, the handicapped kid, and the blind kid. And I thought there was a mistake. They assigned everybody a number, and they called their numbers. I was number 17. This number 17, you're cut in front of everybody. I said, there must be some mistake. You shouldn't have cut me. And he looked at the clipboard, looked at me, said, number 17, mispronounced my name. Yeah, Schaffel, you're cut. And everyone laughed. It was pretty brutal. Yeah. But I still maintained my sense of happiness. But what I didn't have as a young child that I have now is a sense of reality, a sense of knowing what you're good at and what you're bad at. And we all have our super strengths, right? My super strength is being happy. My super strength is helping clients get to where they need to be, getting to live life in the green zone, getting them to live their best lives. But what I'm not good at, Tommy, I can't build a birdhouse, right? My wife's good at power tools. My wife's very handy. I'm not. She's great at puzzles. I am not. I have to accept what I'm good at. We all are good at things. We're all bad at things. And it's okay to be bad at things. It's okay.
I think you can become good at anything. You might not be able to become great at anything, but you can become good at anything that you're bad at.
I think that's very valid. I think with intentionality and effort, if you want to be good at something, you can be okay. And I think for me, that was tennis. Yeah. I got cut from the baseball team, but I made the tennis team. I tried every day. I practiced every day. Yeah. But the way they made the tennis team was back then was so competitive. One of my good friends, Wasserman, you know the name Wasserman. I think you lived with him a little while and hung out with him when you were in Colorado. Yeah. To make the tennis team, it came down to me versus Wasserman. We were 15 years old. The winner made the tennis team. He was one of my best friends. And he starts crying after I'm up 5-2 in a game to 6. Starts crying. That took me out of my happy zone. It took me out of my zone. He ended up beating me in 7-5. And he made the tennis team, and I got cut. Well, I practiced every single day till I made the team. So I think there's some truth to that. We can be good at things, but not everything. And I think maybe puzzles, for example. Tommy, I think the way my brain is trained, no matter how hard I try to do puzzles, I have to admit to myself there are some things my brain is wired not to be good at, and I have to accept that. So is there some truth with trying we can be good at everything? I think with trying we can be good at a lot of things. But we have to understand and be real that I can try my hardest to not dunk a basketball, Tommy. Right?
That's what I'm saying. Like
I can try my hardest every day.
There's certain limitations to it.
There are certain limitations to our bodies and our minds. And now I know other people that are 5'6".
But as technology progresses,
yes,
those barriers might be broken down.
No matter how much technology progresses,
I'm sure there will be.
No matter how much technology progresses, I'll never dunk a basketball.
That's not true. What if they have technology that makes you jump up to the hoop?
I mean, maybe if they have technology that eliminates gravity, right? I guess.
Either that or biological implants that give you more bounce.
I mean, I guess there's some truth to that. You know, if you can dream it,
you
can do it.
We will reach a point where that happens. I have no doubt.
I hope we don't reach a point where we're all jumping around 15 feet in the air. That would be a weird thing. But you're right. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And if you believe it and you can vision it, you can achieve it. So if you're visioning these weird realities where people have bionic jumping, it can happen.
Why is that weird?
Why is it weird? Because it's not what we're experiencing now. So weird isn't a bad thing, but weird is just knowing that things are different than where they are today, and that's what makes them weird.
That's a good answer.
Thank you. I have a lot of good answers, Tommy. It's my superpower.
Do you have
I'm full
any
of good
bad
answers. You know, I'm a realist. I know I have some bad answers, but I have more good answers than bad answers.
I like that.
It's a good answer, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like that.
Thank you. Tommy,
how are we doing
great.
on time, man?
So, Tommy, I do got to run. I want to come back for more podcasts.
It's pretty easy to slip into, you know?
I love it. I know that I told you podcast. What was your answer to me? I said, Tommy, a podcast should only be about half an hour. What'd you tell me?
I said Joe Rogan goes for 4 hours.
Well, you're no Joe Rogan. But you're on your way.
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, honestly, this guy, Tommy, talented young man. If you're listening to this is going to go in the archives. Probably one of the best podcasts of his early career. And it's probably going to be one of the worst podcasts as Tommy gets guests that are just better than me.
I don't think you mentioned your book yet.
I didn't mention my book. I probably mentioned the book 16 times, Tommy. It's called Money and Happiness, the 7 Principles for Living in the Happy Zone. And there's 7 distinct principles that I came up with that'll help people live a happy life. And it's so important, Tommy, to live a happy life. It's not about money. Money doesn't make people happy. Money does not make people happy. I know a lot of people that have a lot of money, and guess what? They're not happy. And I know a lot of people that have just enough money to get by and they're happy. Now, I have a friend that said, well, Andy, it's tough to be happy when you can't pay your bills. It's tough to be happy when you don't have a roof over your head. It's tough to be happy when you don't have food on the table. So this book demonstrates the correlation between money and happiness when you have just enough to get by. You have your shelter, you have your food. After that, money doesn't buy happiness. And there are still people that don't have shelter and food but live in the happy zone. But I know those are exceptional people.
I will supplement that by saying money doesn't make you happy, but it can buy you experiences and good times that could certainly make you and others happy.
Money can buy experiences, but let me give you examples that are in my book.
You need to be able to be happy without it first.
You can have these experiences and not have money. And I'll give you some examples that are in the book. I have a friend that has a lake house, and she goes, I'm only happy when I'm in by my ocean and my expensive lake house on the beach. I have another friend, she moved to a 1-bedroom shack on an ocean by the beach. And she lives in this little tiny little shack in a third world country. And she experiences that same happiness because she's by the ocean. So for her, it wasn't the lake house, this expensive house. It was the sunlight. It was the ocean. It was the vitamin D. It was being outdoors. So I have somebody else says, I'm only happy when I'm outdoors in my beautiful cabin, which is basically like a mansion in Colorado. Well, I have another friend that moved to a very desolate area in a very, very small shack-like place in Colorado with no money, and they're just as happy. So can money give us experiences? Of course. Of course. Can money buy us things? Yes. But will those things make us happy? No. Will those experiences make us happy? Maybe. But you can experience joy, peace, and blissfulness without money. And that's my point.
This is true. This is true.
It is. I mean, listen, some people need more money than others. So, like, we'll use myself, for example. I need more money because I have a lot of people that rely on me. I have staff that I have to pay for. I give a lot of donations to the community so I can make the community better. I have family members that don't work, such as my brother who's very struggling because he got laid off from his job, so I take over and pay his bills. I have stepchildren that are working hard as they can every single day, and I have to help them. So people say, geez, I make a lot of money. Well, I give back the money I make, Tommy, to people that are less fortunate than myself, whether that's people in my family, charities, animals. Every dollar from this book I've made, I've donated, Tommy. I've donated to animal shelters because these little fur balls right here live in a beautiful home, but most fur balls don't have a beautiful home, and they need money because these little guys can't make money on their own. So the money that I'm fortunate enough to make, I give it away. And that's a principle in my book. To be happy, you have to give.
Yes.
You can't live a happy life if you're not giving. So we all need money, but we all need different amounts of money. And that's my point of the book. Some people need more than others, and we can't look at them in envy. I don't want to look at somebody in envy and say, geez, I wish I had more money than them, because I don't. But sometimes we all have envy as part of who we are, and we have to take the envy and turn it into admiration. So I'll give you a quick example. I was at a party. Someone said, oh, Andy, do you know Matt? Blah, blah, blah. He just sold a $15 million house. Doesn't even work. It's his wife's family. My instant reaction was envy. I turned that into appreciation. And I had to train my brain to do that because we all have envy at some points, and it's a human nature. But if we can realize when we have envy and turn that into admiration and appreciation, we're going to live a happier life. So, Tommy, we all need money. I'm well aware of that. Some people need more than others. But again, if people have a lot of money, I challenge them to do good for that with that money. Do good for themselves, do good for their family, do good for others, do good for animals.
I think we can end it there. That was beautiful.
Thank you, Tommy.
My brother.
You're beautiful.
Thank you for coming out.
I love you, Tommy.
Let's do it again sometime soon.
This. Guys,
the one and only Andrew Schaffel.
If you want to buy my book, it is on Amazon, and every dollar I make, I donate to Animal Sanctuary. So if you want to help animals, you want to be happy, buy the book.
Help the animals out. Come on.
Help the animals.
Wait. We got to do your socials, all that good stuff.
Well, Tommy, you're going to help me with my social medias because I really don't have that good stuff right now.
Okay.
But I am going to be hiring Tommy with his expertise.
All right, keep your eyes out, folks.
Keep your eyes out because we're doing big things for the community, everybody.
Big things.
Big things! It's big!
Peace.